Live 3 miles apart on the Lawrence corridor. It's
Semi-regular Sundays.
It's the second half of the Power Couples of Improv 8 with our special guests, the Courtesan and the Cabin Boy, Dan Medina, Athena Rodriguez, Katie Zane, and Michael Cooper. And now here are your hosts, Bodi Shak Bangers.
Hey, Stu.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, Dan.
Happy Valentine's Day, Stuart. How is your Valentine's Day going?
Good, thank you. Sorry, I thought I had the music paused there for a second. Gotta love live streaming.
Yeah, no, live streaming.
Yes.
This is all live, so you can, we can make mistakes and stuff. We won't intentionally do it, but sometimes things happen.
Yeah, indeed. Gotta love those little gaffes. It keeps us human.
Yeah. So, anyway, Stuart, you usually give a spiel right now about who we are.
Yes. So welcome to our 85th remote show. For those of you who do not know Dan and I, we are Flower Shop Bangers. We are an improv duo based out of Chicago. We have been performing together for almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years this April. And from the way things are going, it looks like our anniversary show will be on Zoom again, just like it was last April. And as I've alluded before, we've been doing Zoom shows pretty much every Sunday and Wednesday for 11 months.
Yep.
That's
a long time
flies, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, no, we've almost been in this lockdown for a year. We did not think that would be the case when we started this show, but
Indeed.
That's just kind of what happened. And so we've kind of rolled with it, continue to offer virtual comedy, free of charge to the public. Anyway, so I guess I'll go on my little talk. If you look down below, you'll see a banner. That is a lot of businesses as well as just like some campaigns we think are important for you to support at this time. First, there is the there's a GoFundMe organized by the comedian Chris Red. Chris Red is trying to raise money for Black Lives Matter protesters who happen to contract COVID-19. He wants to try to help cover their medical costs because, they may have contracted this deadly virus that is still out there. Second, there is the bar that Stuart and I usually host this show at, and that is Bodi Shak. I am mixing two things up. I have done this too many times. That is Shakers on Clark. Shakers on Clark. What's going on? Shakers on Clark is a really great bar that Stuart and I usually host the show at. Really great list of Long Island iced teas, really great karaoke nights, really great comedy nights, include more than even just the ones that we do. So we really think it's a great place to support really, patron of the arts as well as just the Wrigleyville neighborhood and Chicago in general. You can find a GoFundMe in our description that will allow you to tip their bar staff so that they can pay their bar staff even though they can't, unfortunately, employ them at this time. Third, there is the gym that I go to. It's called Bodi Shak. It's a really great independently owned black-owned gym. They offer really great fitness classes. They're in a very limited capacity at the moment. But also they have a GoFundMe if you're uncomfortable maybe going in person. And you can find all that information in the description of this event as well. There's also the coffee and tea shop, First Sip Cafe. First Sip Cafe is a really great coffee and tea shop in Asia on Argyle. They have really great coffee and tea drinks, highly recommended if you ever happen to be in this area, right off the Argyle Red Line. And I have a link in the description to get gift cards. Last and certainly not least, there is the School of Comedy that Stuart and I have both been a part of for the last 7 years. It is called One Group Mind. One Group Mind is the kind of the comedy guild that performs out of the place, the Comedy Clubhouse. So One Group Mind is offering some tracks to hone your comedy or build it up if you are just starting out or if you are advanced. They are offering levels for everyone in improv, stand-up, as well as theatricals. Yeah, so that's just about all I got. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, thank you so much. So for those of you who may have missed the first half of this show this past Wednesday, every year, right around Valentine's Day, or it just so happens to be, as it is today, I host a show featuring, that normally features, I should say, improvisers that are in a romantic relationship with other improvisers. And we had the improv part of our show this past Wednesday. This year we kind of decided to make the show a little more, how should I say, inclusive, and include a husband and wife musical act, as well as 2 sets of comics that are in a romantic relationship. So a little bit of history. I did the very first Power Couples show at the old Studio B in Lakeview in February 2014, featuring 4 couples. They each did a 2-person improv set. Each of the first 5 shows were held at Studio B, which then became MCL Chicago. MCL went under. We were actually one of the very last. Power Couples 5 was actually one of the very last shows ever produced at MCL. We did the show at the Crowd in 2019. We did it at the Comedy Clubhouse in 2020. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the second person. It's a bad habit. And obviously, we're doing it on streaming here and now with my honorary Valentine, Dan Anderson.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, how's it going?
One sec.
All right. So nevertheless, we do have a jam-packed show of vaguely Valentine's themed comedy for you this evening. Obviously, closing out the night, we have Flower Shop Bangers.
Woohoo!
Who will be doing a 15-minute improv set. Immediately preceding the Bangers, our friend, comedian Katie Zane.
Woo!
And their partner, Mike Cooper.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Right before Mike Cooper, more friends of the show, the Kurdistan and the Cabin Boy will be doing a few songs. Right before Susanna Ordo, we have out of Los Angeles, comedian Athena Rodriguez.
Woo!
And right before Athena, leading us off this evening, is another comic based out of Los Angeles. Please welcome to our show, Funky Sam and Dina.
Yeah, what is up? Thank you very much, Flower Shop Bangers. I never banged a flower shop, but I think I'd be too worried about thorns.
Pistols and stamen, man. Pistols and stamen.
Thank you guys for having me, though. I'm super excited to be here. I just wanted to warn you guys up front that I just took a Viagra, and I'm not timing myself, so I could probably go for like 12 minutes. I think if you're doing comedy online, you don't time yourself, it's like having random unprotected sex. Sure, everything can be fine, but you could also run the light and end up with syphilis. It's true. It's true. The other day at work on Friday was my coworker's last day, and I was super sad to see her go, but I was also really happy because she was taking pictures with all of us, and I was having a really good hair day. Yeah, the talk of the town is the new COVID vaccine, you guys. I don't know about you, but as far as I like my vaccines like my next gen consoles. I just wait around a little while to see who blows up and who doesn't. Yeah, a little about me. Actually, I live in Tracy, California. If you've never heard of Tracy, I don't blame you. It's a sad, small little town in California. I think the saddest part is that I'm the second most famous person here. Somebody told me recently that I look like the ugly guy on Pawn Stars. I'm like, oh, great. I look like the entire cast of Pawn Stars. Because they're all ugly, I don't have an OnlyFans, but I do have an OnlyFan. Yeah, you guys, I'm not trying to brag here. I'm not trying to brag here at all. But I did sign a deal with Hulu, and I'm pretty excited about it. Woo! Yeah, thanks. I get 3 months for $1. I thought it was super cool. I thought my comedy career was blowing up. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I got 17 Facebook friend requests that I'm not going to answer. And she goes, oh, that's cute. I have 162. Yeah, speaking of my wife, last night I was getting ready for bed like around 3 a.m. and she woke up to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, wait, before you go back to bed, let me tell you this joke I'm working on. Did not end well for me, you guys. Did not end well for me at all. She said, I hate you, and she went back to sleep. Yeah, the joke was this. I enrolled my dog in a martial arts class. It's called Taekwondo Doberman. But I know that joke almost ended my marriage, you guys, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So they say that you should never date a comedian, and I do agree with that. I think the reason why I personally would never date a comedian is because my wife is also a comedian, and she might know her. I told my wife recently the one thing that every woman wants to hear. You know, I told her, you're the most important thing that's ever happened to me. You know, after our cat Gizmo and Spotify Premium. It's true. It's true. This comedian the other day said that he got so high that his dog could talk to him, and that's cool. You know, one time I got so high that my cat could talk to me, but she still didn't. No, you guys, my cat is an asshole. Like the other day, I was laying on the back of this chair, and she leaned back. I leaned down to give her a kiss, and she was like, "Oh," like so far that she fell off the chair, and then she pulled out pepper spray. I know. I do everything I can for that cat too. Like I found out the food I give her wasn't good for her, so I stopped giving it to her immediately, which was good timing too because the kids are almost out of cereal. Yeah, I'm vegan now. My wife and I are vegan. We've been vegan for about 6 months, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that. It's tough though. You know, it's tough being a vegan. Like I went to my favorite restaurant. And I was like, "Hey, what's your best vegan dish with meat?" Nothing. They had nothing. And then my wife and I went out to lunch today to celebrate Valentine's Day. And she's like, "Hey, I'm really proud of you. You know, been doing really good on this diet. I looked at the beer menu. You can have any beer you want." And she went to the bathroom. And so I called the waiter over and I was like, "Hey, I want you to bring me a beer with a steak in it." He's like, "What? Huh? What?" I go, "Look, I don't got a lot of time here, okay? Go in the back, you cook a steak, you put in a beer, bring it out to me. We'll call it Ale 1. Grocery shopping is different being a vegan. Like I was in the store the other day and I was walking past the meat section and I was looking at the steaks and the pork chops and the chickens. And I'm like, oh man, this section is dead to me. Somebody commented on one of my Instagram photos and said hashtag vegans are hypocrites and hashtag plants have feelings too. And that's not why I do it. You know, I'm not being vegan to be cruelty free. That's just a bonus, I guess. The real reason why I do it is because how it makes me feel. You know, superior. I have a lazy eye. It's cool though, you know, because it matches my personality. My other eye is lazy though, so I had to do a DNA test to make sure it wasn't adopted. So I am married. Like I said earlier. We got married like about 6 months before the pandemic, I guess. We drove up to Vegas. We did one of those drive-through weddings. It was cool. She didn't even know. She thought it was McDonald's. My vows were, can I get a double cheeseburger? And I do. We had to go to Baskin Robbins for reception though, because the ice cream machine was down at McDonald's. I know it's too real for some of you. People ask me what it's like to be married to a comedian. It's like being married to a regular person, except a lot funnier, you know? Like when we argue, we use microphones. All the neighbors gather around and laugh at everything we say. And if the argument gets out of hand, I just shine my flashlight at her, and we have 1 minute to wrap up the argument. In honor of getting married, she wanted to get a second cat named Gary. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. Gary's a human name, you know? You got to give it a cat's name like Fido or Spot, Rover, something like that. And it's mad at the house. I had to put my foot down. I said, absolutely not. She got me back, though, you guys. She got a revenge on me. She named her Vagina Gary. And now whenever I want to have sex, I just say, can I have sex with Gary tonight? It is so demeaning. It's almost like doing comedy on Zoom. My wife asked me if I was embarrassed to kiss her in public. And I'm like, no, not at all. And she goes, okay, well then kiss me. I'm like, I will. Just wait for all these people to leave. Or the next pandemic. We were messing around the other day. We were, getting ready to do the deed, and she stopped me. She's like, "Wait, put the TV on first." I go, "Okay, well, what should I put on?" And she's like, "I don't care, just something loud so nobody can hear us." So I put on a porno. I fear that would drown out the sound. My father's an alcoholic, and it's pretty cool, because he never has plans. And so as a married man, I want to go out and have a good time. So I call him, I'm like, hey, Dad, you want to come babysit? And what does he do? What does he have the nerve to do? He leaves his bottle of vodka at my house. Yeah, so I call him the next day all pissed off. I'm like, hey, Dad, you want to babysit again? We have vodka. He was there. He was so there. I was telling my wife about this idea for a joke that I have. And she's like, oh, that's a good idea. How are you going to tell it? And I said, probably into a Zoom in front of people. It's true. It's true. So I am trying to lose weight, And my wife has me on this diet. She told me that Sundays can be cheat days. So later on today, I'm gonna have a hooker. It's always good to set goals for yourself, though, when you try to lose weight. Like I recently decided that my new Target shirt size is Target shirt size. I like that joke because it's for the fat people in the room, right? Because skinny people are like, Target has many shirt sizes. Sure, they do, but it doesn't fit me. I heard a comic say recently that married sex is fast sex, and I don't agree with that. You know, I feel like a better way to put it is married sex is time efficient sex. It's like, hurry up, I gotta Zoom show in 15 minutes. I was trying to have a Butterfinger the other day, and it really hurt. And the butter didn't taste very good off my finger. I'm thinking they should probably change their slogan. Crispity, crunchity, emergency remedy. I like Hometown Buffet. I don't know if you guys have a Hometown Buffet, but they're great. They're like an underground fight club for fat people. There, it's true. Instead of fighting, though, we eat to the death. I saw this ad on Facebook. It was like an article. It said that Pornhub will plant one tree for every 100 videos watched. And I was like, oh man, I never knew I could make a difference. You guys can call me a pervert if you want, but I'm an environmentalist, damn it. I will not stop till all the trees are planted. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna let you guys know a little secret. I did just join Tinder recently. Now, it's not what you're thinking, though. It's not what you're thinking at all. I joined as like this really hot girl, and then I messaged all the guys. I'm like, hey, come meet me on the Zoom open mic on Wednesday night. That's how you build your audience. Thank you guys so much. I'm Funky Sam Medina.
Funky Sam Medina, everybody.
Woo!
Thanks so much, Sam. So, want to apologize for some bad geography here. So, Tracy, California, that's
No, you're good.
Closer to like Stockton, right?
Bay Area, yeah. It's closer to the Bay Area.
Closer to the Bay Area. Okay. I was gonna say Tracy, it's like Carbona, but for elitists.
That too.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sam. We sincerely appreciate it. So let's have our first check-in on our audience to see if anyone has is looking for a shout-out, or they just have any questions, comments, arguments, grievances. Dan, our lovely webmaster, how's it going over there?
Yeah, sure. I have actually several shout outs to give. There are a lot of people watching. I'm seeing a lot of, great people there. First, I thought I'd give a shout out to Matt Cole. Thank you for watching, Matt. And we'll have to have you back on the show soon. Matt's been on our show with a couple different improv teams, and it's always been fun to see him. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Next, there is John McDonnell, Jack Amedio, Melanie Calabrese, and Esperanza Colon. Yeah, thank you to all of you for watching. I see that you are all there liking the Facebook video. That does help, other people watch it. Help spread it to other people. And yeah, no, thank you. Thanks everyone.
All right. Before we get to A-Rod, just one small piece of business. When Dan and I moved our show to Shakers in July 2018, crazy to think that's been over 2.5 years already, we began a 2-man campaign to save Chicago barprov. So barprov, obviously short for bar improv, but it is not necessarily exclusive to improv. It's basically free comedy in a bar that happens to include improv. And that's where Dan and I first cut our teeth. There used to be barprov shows all over the north side of Chicago. We first produced a show at Underground Lounge in Wrigleyville, but there used to be shows everywhere from Crocodile Lounge to AJ Hudson's to the Horseshoe to Mullins. I think the Atlantic had a show as well. I'm probably forgetting some other bars. And one by one, these bars, started canceling shows, or the bars themselves started going out of business. People started moving in a different direction. And again, the concept of barprov, has always been very kind to us, and we kind of want to keep the tradition alive. And when we moved to Shakers 2.5 years ago, the concept of barprov had its back against the wall, and we wanted to be kind of I'm at a loss for words this evening. We kind of want to be that tent pole for seeing free comedy in bars. And I think at the time that the pandemic started, there were only 2 barprov shows left. There was our show at Shakers, and then there was a show at the Holiday Club at Irving Park Road. And as an incentive to keep barprov alive, we have set up this improv tip jar. And I designed the cup myself. Thank you. Thank you. It only took like 5 minutes, maybe that. I like to think of myself as a little bit of an artist. And it's not only a means of supporting the performers in the show, but it's an incentive for people who are enjoying the show to, support the performers. This is their little way of saying thank you. You were very delightful. You were very entertaining. And at the moment, we happen to have $16.80 inside the tip jar, which means that split between our 8 performers tonight, everyone is going home with at least $2.10.
Woo!
Just think, with that money, you can buy almost 1 gallon of unleaded gas. But every little bit helps. So if you would like to support the show and support our performers tonight, my Venmo and Dan's Venmo are both above me. You are plenty welcome to tip to either of us. We are not competing. Just think, if you throw in $8, that means everyone gets an additional $1. It's just as simple as that. So let's see if we can get more than just $16.80 inside this cup. Yes, there is cash inside here, but it's mostly just for show. Without further ado, our next comic is Mrs. Sam Medina. She is also based out of Tracy, California. Please welcome to our show, Athena Rodriguez.
Look at her back.
Hello.
So big.
Hello, everyone. Excuse me.
Girl.
Hey, guys. I hope you guys are being safe out there. I was at Walmart 2 days ago and watched 2 grown-ass women fighting over a box of wine. Yeah. I was really impressed, though, because the lady who won didn't drop her baby once. I was like, whoa, man. The things we can accomplish while we're breastfeeding. Am I right? My name is Athena. I was named after the Greek goddess of war, wisdom, and homecrafts. Because when I think of a woman in power, I'm like, yeah, and she can knit like a boss. I enjoy it. Excuse me. My husband is biracial, and that means he's half white and half Mexican. And sometimes I wonder if he's like looking to me as his his gateway to learn Mexican culture. I'm like, this is a Baja Blast. This is a Mexican pizza. I guess I don't have that available anymore. It's a Mexican pizza. Anyway, I'm multiracial. I know it sounds fancy, but it just means that my whole family is full of bastards. I think it's funny because almost everybody in my family has like different last names. So whenever someone says, "Hey, what side of the family are you on?" and I go like, and we just laugh and laugh because there's more than 2 sides. We're like a dodecahedron, guys. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a lot of sides. That's why I said it. Hello. It's true. We do have a lot of branches in our family tree. I have so many people in my family. One time we were having a gathering and I mistook the taco vendor for a cousin. I know. It's really sad. I was so embarrassed because it turned out to be my dad. It was really nice to meet him. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like really weird around my dad because he never went to any of my comedy shows. He would always say things like, "Mija, you cuss and it's unattractive." And I'm like, okay, because that's what I want to be, attractive to my father. Am I right? And I don't know if you have someone like this in your family, but my dad was super ridiculous to watch movies with. He was one of those people that talked through the whole movie. And then right at the action-filled points, he'd be in your face going, "Mia, what's happening?" what are they doing? And I would be very confused because I'm watching the movie too. But the best way to get my dad to be quiet through the whole movie is if it's like, if it's got tits on the screen. Like if there was nudity or tits ablazing, he was like silent as a mouse. And that's when I like to go over to him and be like, hey, Dad, what's happening? What are they doing? Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. I grew up on the east side of San Jose, California, which is also known as the ghetto. And I'm okay with it, though. I'm proud of where I came from. I think it's kind of funny, though, because like the hardest thugs in my neighborhood were a bunch of unsupervised children who weren't allowed to leave their front yard. They were so mean. They were. And there was like the tallest kid was supposed to be in charge of the rest of the kids. So it was really weird being bullied by a freaking 6 foot tall 12-year-old. But I wasn't too like scared of him because I knew that he was hella scared of his mom because his mom was like a badass hustler too. His mom asked me for spare change every day. And every time I looked in her cup, I noticed she had more money than I did. And she'd like have like some weird thing in there, like a dirty Tic Tac. And I was like, she's ready for anything. And then this dude like walked across the street and punched her in the face. And I was like, and she has a boyfriend. You can have it all. I think about that every day. I don't. I'm such a fucking liar. Okay. You know, I was thinking about how a lot of people are, you know, alone during the pandemic, and it's really hard to be alone and not in a relationship. And I remember last year, a lot of females were looking at, you know, women in relationships like me and just being like, ugh, I hate them because somehow we were, you know, having ever flowing house dick. I don't know. It was just this weird. Like, no, you don't understand. It's ever flowing house dick, ever flowing dishes, ever flowing laundry. It's weird. I don't know how people are doing it these days with dating during the pandemic. I'm scared of everyone. Like I listen way too much to true crime stuff to like be okay with normal people. Like I pulled up to a freaking stoplight, looked at the car next to me, and this guy smiled at me and I was like, he just chose me to be his next victim. I was so scared. And my friend was like, you don't have to be a weenie if you know, protect yourself. Like I got a taser. I'll bring it over to your house. You check it out. If you want it, you can have one. And I'm like, okay, fine. Bring over the stupid taser. So she brings it over. She's like, wait till you get a load of this. She starts digging in her purse. She's like digging her purse. I'm thinking of all the people I'm going to tase in the neck. And she's digging in her purse. Finally, she pulls out this taser. And I'm like, holy shit. I hope whoever mugs you has as much patience as I did. Waiting for you to pull that shit out of your damn purse. I think about, and then I'm glad that I'm married. And I'm going to say it. I don't mind. I'm glad that I'm married. Because when I was dating, it was a freaking nightmare. My dating life, if it was a song, it would have been like Mambo No. 5. It would be like a little bit of weird guy from the gym, a little bit of stalker from Craigslist, a little bit of funny guy who's always around, a little bit of sad boy from the lounge. Yeah, Mambo No. 5. And then it has a dance to it too. Valentine's Day, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Sam and I actually celebrated it earlier. Yesterday, we celebrated it, you know, right on the dot last night. We were getting it on. And I'm not a prude, so I'm going to tell you all about it. So we were doing our thing. And then out of fucking nowhere, Sam starts busting out laughing. I had a complex about my O face. And Sam is cracking up, and I'm like, oh my God, what is it? What's funny? What? And he goes, oh no, it's not you. It's not you. And I'm like, what happened? And he goes, I just wrote a joke. While we're doing this, you're writing a joke? I was so pissed. It was so fucking weird. I didn't know if it's like the comedian sex equivalent to when another like person like screams out someone else's name. I was like, how dare you write one without me? I'm thinking of other things. But yeah, so I mean, I have to I complain about it, but Sam is actually a very, kind lover, and like he's so sweet to me. I swear, one time he spanked me during sex and I said ow, and he said I am so sorry, and the next time we had sex he just put me in the corner. I didn't get disciplined that day in the right way. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have been into all of these Zoom holidays. I had to experience a Zoom Christmas, 2 Zoom funerals, and a Zoom wedding, and 1 Zoom birth. I know. I will never look at my friend's vagina the same way again. I had to watch this Zoom birth. It was so funny. I will never look at her vagina the same way again, and neither will like 10 of her cousins who kept shouting in the microphone, pan left, the baby's in the way. Have you ever had the worst day of your life and some kid flips you off? You can't get them right back. So I had to wait like 2 weeks for this kid to fall off his bike, and I ran up to him and I was like, But I made sure to give him the same face that he gave me. I was like, And he's like, Auntie, you're mean. My name is Athena Rodriguez. You guys have a lovely night. Happy Valentine's Day.
Everlasting house stick. I mean, Athena Rodriguez, everyone.
Woo!
Everlasting house stick. I'm stuck on that phrase. Wasn't that the name of like a pop singer?
Oh,
Look this guy up. It's the random words and phrases that kind of get caught in my head. It's not healthy, frankly. Anyway, Dan, any updates on the Facebook Live feed?
It seems like it stayed pretty consistent, but I would say that I do see some comments from Esperanza Colon and Giacomedio. Both of them got auto-corrected. One said fits a blazing and then corrected under there to tits. And then the other one said how sick, which, that got corrected to dick.
Wholesome comedy.
I think we now know the name of Athena's first album. We've got the title set.
Wholesome.
It doesn't even have to be mentioned in the album. That's the title. By the way, if you have missed any part of the show so far, including all that everlasting house dick, will be archived on the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page right when this show ends, which will be somewhere around 8:20 Chicago time this evening. That's 6:20 in Los Angeles, 9:20 in New York. And for those of you who have not tuned in before, we do this every Sunday and Wednesday. We'll have a completely different group of comics this coming Wednesday. Nevertheless, this is Power Couples of Improv 8. I gotta make sure I'm flashing 8. And Dan, we gotta ride that sea shanty wave. 2021.
Oh, really? We're right on TikTok.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I did see one TikTok about how apparently the one that's like the song that's like really going viral, the Wellerman, apparently is not a sea shanty.
Is it like
I don't know, for it to be a sea shanty, like a seaman would have to like work to it or march to it or something, and apparently you actually can't do that to that song. So like the whole sea shanty thing, I think it's just a sham, really.
Everlasting house dick, seaman. I mean, it all comes together.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah. Nevertheless, our next act, she's from Rockford, he's from Libertyville. They've been married for about 3 years. This is the third time we've had them in our show. We had them in person to promote their Krampus album, Krampus Get in My Sack. By the way, a really wonderful album. I bought a copy. And they were also in our show about 6 months ago. Please welcome back to our show, Dakota-san and the Cabin Boy.
Greetings, I'm Belle Weathers.
I'm Orlando the Cat, sir.
And together we are the Courtesan and the Cabin Boy.
I'm the bosun, but we're still workshopping that joke.
Right. I don't think we've ever actually had the proper pronunciation in the intro yet.
We'll introduce Stuart to IPA pronunciation.
There we go.
But I just want to let everybody know that we're normally Ren Fair performers, and we've been doing sea shanties before it was cool.
Way before it was cool. And actually, the songs we're going to do for you tonight are couple songs in various forms of relationships and whatnot. And the first happens to be very much a sea shanty.
Billy Taylor was a brisk young sailor, full of heart and full of play. Instead of Billy getting married, he was pressed and forced away. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Billy's bride soon followed after. When aboard a man o' war, sailor's clothing she put on, disguised her face with pitch and tar.
On that fight there was a battle, she among the rest did fight. A blade cut off her silver buttons, bared her breasts all snowy white. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day.
When the captain did discover, he asked maid, what brought you here?
She said, I'm seeking Billy Taylor, pressed by you was he last year.
The captain says, if he's your lover, he has proved to you untrue. He got married to another, left ye here alone to rue.
Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Sword and pistol she commanded, sword and pistol by her side. Then she shot young Billy Taylor and cut up his new-made bride.
The captain shouts, now my fair maiden, come and tell me what you done.
She said, I shot my Billy Taylor with my double-barrel gun. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. When the captain did behold her and the deed that she had done, he made her his gun commander over a ship of 100 gun. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day. Fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dum-di-did-a-ro, fa-la-ra-da-dum-da-da-dee-ri-day.
The moral of that story?
Never mess with a woman's heart.
No, don't get drafted.
Yeah, I suppose you. Yeah. But even still, for those who are oftentimes the rogue, restless type who harm a poor maiden's heart, there are just as many a maiden who have no problem stepping out on their main man.
Oh, need my note. Where's my note?
Right.
Oh, say, gentle maiden, may I be your lover? Condemn me no longer to mourn and to weep. Cut down like a hawk, I lay wounded and fainting.
And melodramatic.
But let down your drawbridge, I'll enter your keep. Enter your keep, nonny nonny, enter your keep, nonny nonny. Let down your drawbridge, I'll enter your keep.
Alas, gentle errant, I am not a maiden. I'm married to this armor, the cunning old Celt. He's off to the wars for these 12 months or longer, and taken the key to my chastity belt.
Taking the key, nonny nonny, taking the key, nonny nonny, taking the key to my chastity belt. Fear not, gentle maiden, for I know a locksmith.
Oh.
To his forge we will go, at his door we will knock, and try to avail of his specialized knowledge. See if he's able to unpick your lock. Unpick your lock, nonny nonny, unpick your lock, nonny nonny. See if he's able to unpick your lock.
Alas, sir and madam, to help I am unable. My technical knowledge is of no avail. I I can't find the secret to your combination. The cunning old Celt, he has fitted a Yale.
Bastard. Fitted a Yale, nonny nonny, fitted a Yale, nonny nonny. Cunning old Gelt, he has fitted a Yale. A night squire returns with sad news of disaster.
Oh, Lord. Now what?
A terrible mishap I have to confide. As our ship was passing the Straits of Gibraltar.
Okay, well, I can still pass for young, please.
Your knight and the key, they went over the side. Over the side, nonny nonny, over the side.
Oh, wait a minute. The knight and the key, they went over the side?
Nonny.
Oh, Santa, look, I have looked up forever.
But up steps the blacksmith saying, leave it to me.
Why?
'Twas I forged your belt.
So?
I forged the key also. And as a precaution, I've copies made 3.
Whoa, wait, 3?
1 for his lordship,
Meh.
and 1 for the high priest.
Alright, I am not a small boy. I will never see that key.
But only 1 works, and I kept that for me. Kept that for me, nonny nonny, kept that for me, nonny nonny. Only 1 works, and I kept that for me. Kept that for me, nonny nonny, duplicate key, nonny nonny. Only 1 works, and I kept that for me.
Dirty.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm not one who's, to kink shame. Whatever lifts your luggage.
Indeed. But even still, if you're speaking of lifting luggage and whatnot, there are different things that different people do to get by in this world.
This is true.
I have to preface this last song here.
This song is not about me.
It is not. It was actually written many, 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 many years before I met him. And it actually speaks to the kind of man that I kind of figured I would wind up being with. But in any case, this song is dedicated to every man who wandered up to me at last call, stared me square in the tits and said,
I love you.
You slammed a 6-pack on our wedding day. It took a shot to say I do. But by the time of our reception, I was the cutest thing to you. That first night when we met shouldn't have come as no surprise. You've been drinking 24/7 with beer bottle glasses on your eyes. So have a beer or maybe some wine. This case of whiskey in the trunk. Hold on, there's no denying I'm always gorgeous when you're drunk. Doesn't bother me what they say. I am married to a lush. That your drinking's gonna kill us. Or that your liver must be mush. Thought about trying to get you sober. Maybe, baby, we could make it dry. Just this one enormous problem. I can't stand to see a grown man cry. So have a beer or maybe some wine. This case of whiskey in the trunk. Hold on, there's no denying I'm always gorgeous when you're drunk. So have a beer or maybe some wine. There's a case of whiskey in the trunk. Hold on, there's no denying I'm always gorgeous, completely gorgeous. I'm always gorgeous when you're drunk. Apparently I'm not drunk enough yet.
We haven't had our rum ration.
And that is it for us. I am Belle Weathers.
I'm Orlando DeCatzer.
Together, the courtesan and the cabin boy.
The courtesan and the cabin boy.
Yes, with an ampersand.
Yes.
Courtesan. Okay.
Courtesan. Yes.
Correctly for once. Courtesan. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Again, I get hung up about mispronouncing words and stuff like that because it's, you never know who you're going to piss off, frankly. Anyway, I digress. Dan, any updates on the live feed?
Yes, I thought I'd give a couple shout outs. Mitch Kessler is watching, our friend at One Group Mind. There is Lisa Marie Farver. She's watching as well. And Sai Manapati. And I also thought I'd give a shout out to my girlfriend Sally, who's watching at home with her dogs Louie and Monty. Happy Valentine's Day.
All right. Hi, Sally. Hi, Mitch. And by the way, our improv tip jar still hanging tight at $16.80. Again, all of our performers tonight going home with at least $2.10 American. Again, if you want to Venmo us, you're plenty welcome to do so. All right, without further ado, our next act is originally from Alabama. We've had him in our show once before. It is a treat to welcome back to our show, Michael Cooper.
Hey folks, I hope y'all are doing good. I'm excited to be here. I'm as excited as Mike Pence on his way to 1822. Pretty delighted. Listen, Valentine's Day is nuts this year. I'm 34 years old and I'm polyamorous. It's just a long way of saying I'm tired. That's all it means. You know, also, I thought I was tired from that. Turned out I might have like turns out, and this would be a surprise if you're familiar with my work. Turns out I might have also had some mental health issues. The doctors gave me my very first antidepressant on my 34th birthday. Terrifying. You know? Happy 34th birthday, Mr. Cooper. Here's your 33% chance of erectile dysfunction. Also, we're aware that there are not one, but two people who have decided that during a pandemic, your penis is the only safe penis. But both of them have also agreed that this is worth the risk. Like, I've never met a person, I've never had a friend who had a vagina tell me that they would trade orgasms from their partner for their partner to have a better personality. This is the first time that's ever happened. When I tell people I'm polyamorous, a lot of times they have questions, you know? But like, I had questions when I was monogamous. I had questions like, hey, honey, who's that guy? It was a tough breakup, but it's fine. It was mutual. I agreed to it. She agreed to it. Some guy named Nick agreed to it. I was late for that meeting. Turns out they had early voted all over the apartment. My friends kept getting mad at me afterwards. They're like, Michael, we get it. You're polyamorous now, but you have to stop fucking your ex. She legit cheated. Stop it. You know, and it's good advice, but it's like they say, you can lead a horse to water. You can't stop a horse from fucking its ex-girlfriend. To be fair to me, last time we hooked up, it was an emergency. She was horny and she was about to go on a road trip to Indiana. I just don't think anybody should have to be horny in Indiana. That's how we got Mike Pence. That's how a lot of bad things started. There's never been at the beginning of a movie two people horny in Indiana and the ending was good, you know? It ends with them at a Pacers game going, yeah, they used to be good. That's the best ending to that film. So I'm a year sober, but starting to think it's the wrong year. It makes AA difficult, you know, because like other people will share their rock bottoms. Well, I had one drink to celebrate the night of my daughter's wedding, and then I woke up in the backseat of my own Honda Accord inside the Build-A-Bear workshop surrounded by decapitated Build-A-Bears. Decapitated Build-A-Bear was on my dick. And that's a terrible rock bottom, and I really hate it for them. But like, I got drunk when the government said they were going to give us all health insurance. And then I came to there are no more ICU beds, so it doesn't matter if you have insurance. You know, but tell me again about your regrettable one-night stand reenacting the French Revolution in a Build-A-Bear workshop. You called a 6-month charge? I woke up inside of a fascism. And because I live in Chicago but sound like this when I talk, people keep telling me it's my fault anyway. And I can't defend myself because I don't know what the fuck I was doing in 2016. Michael, who'd you vote for in 2016? I think I sold my vote for a fifth of Beam. Like, I think that's what I did in 2016. You know, I think I wrote in my childhood demons as a write-in candidate. I do know I got beaten up at a protest in 2016. Usually that does mean you're on the right side of history. However, it was both sides beating me up. So hard to say where I landed there. Listen, I get that Valentine's Day, things like that can be kind of lonely, but this is something important. If you're poor, like I've been most of my life, don't fuck rich people. Why should they get to come and retire at the age of 65? You know, if I have to choose between food and healthcare, they have to choose between exploring their kinks with me and denying me food and healthcare. Who's looking at Jeff Bezos and thinking, yeah, I bet that guy's a giving lover? Seriously, you ever get head from a rich person? Nope. And you know why? And this is just a historical fact. I don't know if you remember middle school history, but historical fact is rich people haven't actually given head since the French Revolution. The proper one, not the Build-A-Bear workshop one. Last rich person to give head was Marie Antoinette. That's what I'm saying. I'm a socialist. I'm an anarcho-socialist. Now, when I tell people that, a lot of folks think, oh, this guy hates all entrepreneurship and private businesses, hates all the entrepreneurs, wants to chop their heads off. He said it several times, alluding to the French Revolution twice, once very unnecessarily. But it's not true that I hate all entrepreneurs. There are some that I think have done really great stuff. For instance, y'all know on them golf courses where all those rich folks hang out at? Whoever it was decided to put alligators out there. I like them. I think they're a great entrepreneur. I don't know why they stopped at alligators on golf courses. Why not water moccasins in the penthouses? You know, bears roaming the Gold Coast neighborhood of Chicago. Be fucking awesome. I don't like libertarians because I think they're liars. And it's not just because, you know, they don't understand mathematics and economics. I don't understand mathematics and economics. But they lie. You know, you ever notice these libertarians, they're all about small government and keeping Big Brother out of your life. But then when you follow them home, bash them upside the head a dozen times and steal their Fitbit, suddenly it's time for fairness and government intervention. Why is it that when Jeff Bezos does it, it's the free hand of the market? But when I do it, it's advisable to seek legal counsel. And I'm no longer welcome in Rand Paul's neighborhood. I do have a good job now. Happy about that. I used to have a real bad job. I used to deliver pizza on a bicycle. I worked at a Domino's. I had to ask a 17-year-old's permission for a cigarette break once. And he said no. Come on, bro. Come on. What's the worst going to happen if I don't let you smoke a cigarette right now? What's the worst that's going to happen? So there's a lot of security cameras here. So I don't know. I reckon 20 to life. Probably the worst consequence for me if you don't get the fuck out of my way. It wasn't all bad. Sometimes I would deliver to college students. And I don't know if y'all know this about 19-year-olds whose parents have 40 grand a year to send them to DePaul University to study music theory. But when they see a 33-year-old dude missing teeth, sounding like a character left on the cutting room floor of King of the Hill in season 2, pulling up on a bicycle in 28-degree weather to bring them their pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning, they can be a little disrespectful. But that's okay. You know what I did? I would just ask them what they were studying. And then no matter what, I told them I studied the same thing. You haven't lived till you watched a 19-year-old ruin their life because you told one lie. What's that? Biomechanical engineering? Well, shit fire, son. Me too. Is it weird that I called the customer son? Maybe. But if my parents taught me one thing, it's if you're going to fuck up someone's life, you owe it to them to call them son first. Listen, I don't know what all I confessed to during this, but I do think I'm out of time. And I don't know what the statute of limitations is on most of these anecdotes. So just in case, I've been Jared Kushner.
Michael Cooper, everybody, or Mr. Kushner, the man who ran the New York Observer into the ground. Thanks, Coop. Glad to have you. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. All right, Dan, any updates on the feed?
It stayed pretty consistent, but I thought I would let everyone know that if you are at home and you want to keep up with our shows, you can either like the Flower Shop Bangers on Facebook or you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Both places are great places to just keep up with us, to see what we're doing. We do this twice a week. It's every Sunday and every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm. All right. Also, most of you know me as the shorter but speculated half of Flower Shop Bangers, but I also happen to run a comedy page of my own called Stu News.
Mm-hmm.
Stu News is on the verge of 1,900 likes, so if you're looking for some quick takes on stuff that's going on in the news, please like and follow Stu News. That's facebook.com/STUNEWS. I am also on Twitter at HeyStu818. Just think, Dan, we are now halfway through our last couple of Power Couples 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, time is flying. I mean, they've all been phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to this last comic. They've been in our show before. I think they now hold a tie with Pratik Srastava for the most times that we've had someone do stand-up in our remote show. They are originally from the Washington, D.C. area, somewhere in Northern Virginia. They happen to host a limited edition podcast called Zane's Anatomy, where they review all 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. And maybe down the road, they'll also review Zane's Deep End. They call it Zane's Deep End. I'm just tossing that idea out there. Please welcome back to our show, Katie Zane.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I will be sharing my freakish love with Grey's Anatomy with the world via podcast starting this week. That happened because I would talk to Michael about Grey's Anatomy so much, like a college professor, that I was like, I need to find other people to talk to about this. So now people will only have to hear about it if they choose to click on the link and open the video, not unsolicited Grey's Anatomy information, which I'm not going to do to you right now. I'm going to stop right now and tell jokes. So I think it's a lot easier to be fat if you have weird hair. There's something about like once I got to like a certain weight, I was like, oh, well, gotta feel better. Like the minute I cut my hair, the second I cut my hair short, I was like, I don't care that I'm fat anymore. I was like, this is amazing. I don't give a shit. My hair is cool. It's short and amazing. Like, I don't care. I don't care what's going on down here. Like, y'all only see my shoulders. Zoom is an amazing thing. Nobody even knows if I have boobs or not. It's my favorite. My favorite thing. Absolutely. I kind of don't want live to come back because then people will know for sure if I have breasts. And I kind of like the illusion that you don't know. So yeah, I do have the type of body you're like, ooh, this person's gonna talk about fat material. Ooh, I don't know. But really, I talk about my body like in this fashion because in my family, that's how we show love is by teasing each other and giving each other a hard time. So I have to write fat jokes about my body to nag my body so that it knows that I love it. Okay, so that this material is a form of self-love, even though I'm talking about my fatness. But like I am ideally built to be a modest, naked cartoon character. You know, like I can stand up perfectly straight, and my vagina is still covered, like still covered, still under wraps, still a secret. You know what I miss? I miss the simpler times. I really miss when the word insurrection was just a not beloved Star Trek movie, you know, like the lesser of the Star Trek films, instead of a crazy thing that happened that no one got in trouble for, as it turns out. I think that I actually this is not bits I have, but I think we do have some strange precedents going on in the world, in our country right now. Like it's very much like, oh, you can do like one of the worst things that you can do. You can commit treason and not have any consequences for it. And what a time to be alive. What crimes am I going to do? That's what it is. I'm just going to start making a list of everything I think I can get away with because Trump got away with something. Because you know what? If they take me to court, I'm going to be like, well, I just did exactly what that guy did, just different context, and I'm in trouble. I'm also white and fat. Like, does that count? Like, that's sort of like Trump. I just, that's the one and only time I'm ever going to compare myself to that man. That's never coming out of my mouth again. Not doing that. That's an ad lib that I'm not keeping. I have started this thing in the pandemic where I start almost all emails and messages like PMs through Facebook Messenger with, hey, because I feel like you can say anything after that. Like you can be like, hey, I am running late for the Zoom show. I am so sorry, which is actually the exact message I sent to the group chat earlier. But also I could be like, hey, I might have committed a felony. Can you help me out? Or I could be more specifically about more specific about the felony. I could be like, hey, I murdered my husband. I really need someone to help me out. Can someone tell me how to bury a body real fast? I have watched a lot of true crime and I do know about DNA, but that's about where we end. But yeah, no, I just want people to be like, that darn Katie. Look how casual they are with their greeting. And I just, be like, hey, I really hate your partner. I think you should break up with them and see if it works. I started really nice and maybe they will break up with them. I don't know. I think one of the biggest lessons in the pandemic for me is that you can absolutely still shit yourself, even if you never leave home. Even if you never go anywhere at all. I am up to shitting myself 6 times. But if you break that down to like through a year, that's good mathematics. I am not shitting myself most of the time. It's just a little bit of the time I'm shitting myself. So I feel like, we'll keep adding up. It hasn't been a total year. I might shit myself again. That number might get worse. We don't know. I'll talk to you after St. Patty's Day because that's when I was officially on lockdown last year. I think that relationships, this is a couple show. Relationships require like a lot of work. I think a lot of people know that. Communication is very important, but I also think just understanding, just that foundational understanding, understanding your partner, understanding why they tick, why they do things the way they do. For an example, my boyfriend is really understanding that I built a gravity bong out of a soup pot. He was really understanding about that. He was like, it's cool. I don't even want soup anyway. Gravity bong away. Like, so cool. And like, also, he's just so understanding. Like, I'm the type of person that like, I don't like any of my bedding to touch the floor even a little bit. So I'll like neurotically pick up the edges and just throw them on the bed in a crazed manner, I can't touch the bed. It's lava, like I'm insane. But also like so understanding, right? So understanding. He's so understanding that he's still cool with me. I still identify as a lesbian, and he's so understanding about that. Like, just so I'm like, yeah, I'm super gay. I like you and your penis, but super gay otherwise, I yesterday was Galentine's, and I was actually on a Galentine's show, and it reminded me of like one of my original Galentines, as it were, or Palentines, if you want to be gender neutral, which I like that. My best friend, when I was a kid growing up, she lived right around the corner from me. We, played all the kids, neighborhood games. But when we got to 6th grade, when like social clout starts to matter, she informed me that we had to pretend not to be friends when we were at school. And that sounds like a lot. You probably hate her already. That's fine. But we rode the same bus to school. We went to the same bus stop. And so this literally meant like every single day I'd like get on the bus and like sit with the band kids. And she would sit with all the kids with the starter jackets, like she was a cool kid and I was not. And this also meant coming home from school that I would have to pretend to walk to my own house. I would just pretend, be like, I'm totally going home to the Zane home where I live. And then I snuck back through the woods to hers. So I've essentially known what it was like to be a side chick since I was 12. Like, pretty much. And it was really good choices for later, life choices I would make. I am now polyamorous and gay, apparently. So yeah, that's how that story ended. I don't have enough time to do the last bigger story that I was going to do. So I'm going to do a couple of quick short ones. Which all may not be fire. We'll see what happens in this next 40 seconds. One of my biggest accomplishments of the pandemic is Porn MD, my preferred porn site, is no longer on my Google like top page. It's not in the quick links anymore because I have not been visiting the porn people enough. Weird. I guess it's all that house dick, right? That Athena was talking about earlier. It just makes you watch a lot less porn. Also, when you're not alone a lot, you don't just like pop on porn when someone's in the next room. You're not like, well, I'm just going to enjoy this porn all by my lonesome. Like, I would make an announcement. Like, if I was watching porn and my partner was also home, I'd be like, honey, I'm in here watching porn, just in case you were wondering what I was doing. He's like, I'm at work making the only money this house makes. Okay. That's all I'm going to do. Thank you so much for having me. I can't believe I'm tied with fatigue, but here we are. Thank you guys.
Katie Zane, everybody. Katie, that was phenomenal. Thank you. And again, please make sure to check out Zane's Anatomy wherever you find your lovely podcasts. So I just want to say thank you to Katie, Mike, Suzanne, Gordo, Athena, and Sam. We sincerely appreciate it. Just think, another Power Couples show has come and gone, and it's been phenomenal, and you've all been phenomenal, and our audience has been phenomenal. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. If you have missed any part of the show so far, or if you've missed, well, at this point you've missed 3/4 of the show, again, this whole show will be archived on Facebook Live right when this show ends, right around 30 this evening. Dan, one last check-in before we get to our last act.
Yeah, so it seems like it's been pretty consistent viewership-wise, but I thought I would. I like this comment by Ordo, who's also one of our performers, obviously. But he says, "We love you just the way you are, Katie," and I think we can all echo that.
All right. And as I've mentioned twice already, we do this show every Sunday and Wednesday. Our show this Wednesday doesn't have a theme to it, but we're still going to have some great comedy nevertheless. We're going to have our friend Tyler Fowler on the show. We're going to be welcoming back Amy Jans, plus stand-up from Christine Bana and Janet McNamara. So please make sure to check that out. Also, one last opportunity to throw money into the Improv Tip Jar. I'm tossing around this change for emphasis. Without further ado, your last act of the evening are the co-hosts and co-producers of Semi-Regular Sundays, who until 11 months ago were hosting the show at Shakers on Clark at the corner of Clark and Belmont in Chicago, Lakeview, Boys Town, depending on how you look at it. They have been performing together for almost 8 years, and it just so happens that their 8th anniversary will coincide with their 100th remote show in April. They have performed in improv festivals in cities as far-flung and exotic as Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Baltimore, Maryland. Just think, one of those cities is not in the Central Time Zone.
That's true.
That's how far away exotic they are. And they are also part of the Yippee Fest Virtual Arts Festival this past August. Please welcome Flower Shop Bangers!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I would point up top to where I have both Stuart and my Venmos. You'll notice now it says donate to the funnier one on Venmo. So whoever you think is funnier during this site, you can donate to one of us. Now it is a competition. Clearly,
more pressure on me, buddy.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes, but all of those donations will still be spread out throughout the acts in this show. Also, so without further ado, we are the Flower Shop Bangers. We're going to do some improv for you, and we get weird with it. Did you get it?
I got it.
Wait, what? You got it? Dude, you probably have to wait in line for like 6 hours for that. I mean, seriously, that's not supposed to come out until next year.
I've got it. I've got the vaccine.
You've got the vaccine?
Yeah, what do you think I was? Wait, I was standing in line for 6 hours for the vaccine.
Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, no, I totally didn't want the new Call of Duty game that doesn't come out until next year. No, it's totally not what was totally on my mind right now. Yeah, the vaccine. That's, oh my God, that's a shot.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
You're thinking I got Call of Duty 6?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wasn't like necessarily thinking you got it. I thought that's why you were going out today, but apparently your appointment was for
Well, I don't want to contract COVID, and I don't want you to get COVID.
Yeah, I get it. I guess, for me personally, I'm still in like a lower group than you. I know you. Being an educator, I know you get some priority.
Yes, I mean, I'm an adjunct professor.
Yeah.
I freshman literature.
I guess for me right now, considering I have several months until I can get this vaccine, I was kind of hoping, I don't know, that Call of Duty game might mean more to me right now, honestly. I know that sounds weird. I get it, but
I didn't want to be teased or anything like that, but I'm just kind of looking out for our best interests. Just so you know, you are placated. I mean, I did go on Amazon and I did put us on the wait list for COD 6.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, it'd be super impressive that I got the shot and.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, and
I know. There were very limited advanced copies of this game.
Yeah.
Very limited.
And I want to make sure that we are both alive to play a COD 6.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have to be alive to play it. Yeah. It's not important that I have it in my hands right now and be able to play it and, kill some Nazis. That's
Yeah, I mean, if you want to kill some Nazis, I mean, we can go to Washington D.C. right
Oh,
now.
that's true. Yeah, we could go to Washington D.C. But there's
Yeah.
COVID over there, and there's not COVID in a video game.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to place such a high priority on this game. I feel like I was putting so much emphasis on it. I feel like I haven't had a lot to look forward to lately.
I mean, I get it. I mean, because you probably didn't think you were going to be unemployed for this long.
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they got your benefits extended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They got extended. Thankfully, both unemployment benefits got extended, and so did my health insurance.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So I'm good, I'm good, just bored.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah. What? You seem, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. It should be important. It should be more important to me that you got this vaccine,
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean,
it should be more important to me that you are saving humanity.
I mean, we share a 2-bed, 1-bath.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like we drink out of the same glasses. We use the same dishes. We use the same bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, again, I mean, education is my profession.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you have your health issues. I mean, I don't want to, I guess it just wasn't the reaction that I was expecting.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I do sometimes, I build something up in my head, and when it doesn't come to fruition, like I said, I haven't had a lot to look forward to this year.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you've been playing COD5 to death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I mean, you tried to get into what's that one game? It's with the monsters, Spotsylvania.
Castlevania,
that's
or
right.
maybe Monster Hunter. I don't know. There's another game called Monster
Oh
Hunter.
yeah, okay. Because I think you were playing Castlevania or whatever.
I mean, they haven't come out with new Castlevania in years. I was definitely playing a very old game there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I saw you kind of blowing, on the Sega Genesis and all that, and yeah. No, I mean,
God, this is crazy because it's like, I used to work at a box office,
than I do.
Huh?
You used to make more money than I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah. I don't know. Now this just feels like this is what my life has become.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm an adjunct. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not necessarily rolling in the dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm getting by and paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been, cautious about budgeting and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I gotcha. It's you seem like you're thriving, honestly.
I mean,
you kind of seem like you're thriving. I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like I am.
Oh, Larry.
What? Joe?
Don't give up so quickly. I mean, you're the one who was the CFO of a tech firm.
Yes, I was. A tech firm that went under.
I mean, I'm sure you're gonna find something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe it's just how crappy this job economy is. I'm sure that another, maybe another one of your college buddies will start up another tech firm and they'll need another CFO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my goodness, that looks better on a resume than, writing a master's thesis on Charles Dickens.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think now is the time for a startup, and I'm wondering if I should just, go take a position at Charles Schwab or Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or something. Huh?
The Schwab has openings?
Oh, dude, the financial market is booming.
Oh, yeah. Good. True. Yeah.
I mean, those job offerings are there, and I guess I've kind of turned them down just because, or not turned them down, but ignored them just because I I know my resume is probably good for like, you know, an entry level ish position, but
Oh, come on.
it's hard to go. It's hard to go from that to go to CFO to that, you know.
I mean, I think you've got middle management material at the very, very least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to cut you down by any means, but I think you are minimum middle management.
Yeah.
I think you can run a team.
I mean, I'm sure I can run a team, you know. I would love to run a team. But I am scared to kind of, you know, go from basically being the guy controlling all the finances to being the guy who is one of many in a large conglomerate of people, and I don't know, maybe just being a bit smaller. I already feel small.
I mean, I almost had my position eliminated. I mean, I'm lucky that I'm still teaching British literature to college freshmen.
I mean, you know, if you would have had American literature, you might have had more success.
Or
just survey lit.
Yeah, or you know, or intro to composition.
Mm-hmm. Now there are many options there.
I mean, it's introduction to British literature. I mean, it's I mean, this college program has a pretty extensive, you know, program for European lit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, the guy who teaches French lit. I mean, oh my God! I mean, he is just, dude, just rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's always talking about Hugo and Camus and Jean-Paul Sartre, and oh my God, it's just. I mean, I wish I was that guy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Just something different and exotic, you know.
Yeah. It's like that elective everyone takes just because they want to, you know.
Yeah. But again, you know, it's like, hey, I just happen to know a shitload about Charles Dickens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's just prop him in there. You know, you could, you know, talk about, you know, the same, you know, talk about Great Expectations, you know, 5 or 6 times a year.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's part of it is, you know, Charles Dickens just makes you kind of one of many, whereas Jean-Paul Sartre, you know, seem a little interesting when you know something about him.
See, this is why I teach Brit lit and not French lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I think therefore I am.
Mm-hmm. Descartes.
Yeah. Descartes.
Or Billie Eilish, depending on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a lot of ways, I mean, you know, you do kind of remind me a little bit of Pip.
Oh, which one's Pip?
Great Expectations.
Oh, I can't say I've read it.
I mean,
I honestly have never read a Dickens novel.
Just kind of pull yourself up on your bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the opportunities are there. I mean, you're at your bottom, but you know, if you connect yourself to the right people, I think you can thrive. I mean, you know, just treat every setback, no matter how big or small it is, and just you know, just treat it as a learning opportunity. And who knows, maybe you know, you'll meet the rich niece of some crazy dowager, and yeah.
Those are wise words coming from a teacher.
Of course.
Telling me to use this as a learning opportunity. I guess that's just kind of, you know.
Yeah. Or I mean, I'm trying to think of like who else in the world of Dickens I can compare you to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not David Copperfield. You haven't been framed for anything. I mean, you're definitely not Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are not Scrooge.
There we go.
Yeah, high praise indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You don't quite fit into being Nicholas Nickleby.
Nicholas Nickleby.
Yeah.
You're just listing off a lot of characters that honestly, I don't know. I mean, you know, you're trying to fit me into a Dickens novel.
I don't get to talk face to face with anyone about Dickens, you know?
Oh, I see.
Again, I do these lessons online.
Uh-huh, yeah.
You know, I don't get to interact with students. I don't get to...
So now you're just comparing your friends to Dickens characters. Or at least me.
Yeah.
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 Gotcha. I guess you're not living your best life either.
It's like, hey, we got a vaccine, so...
It's true.
I mean, the
some
way I
good
see
coming
it...
from this.
Yeah, there is some good coming out of this. I mean, you have to accept the small victories.
So, Call of Duty 6.
Call of Duty 6.
We're on the wait list.
So who do you think are going to be the villains in that one? It's because it's a different villain in each video game, right?
Probably, I don't know. Maybe.
Is it the Nazis in every Call of Duty? I mean, I'm not nearly as much of a gamer as you are.
I mean, I think they do kind of take yeah, I honestly don't know.
Is this the one that's going to have the Soviets?
Probably. I think it's going to be the Soviets.
Okay, because I saw a TV ad where they had like some like weird CGI Reagan, and it was kind of off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe that's Call of Duty 6. But why would they be advertising something that's not coming out until like February of 22?
Good question. I don't know. This was kind of an early release copy. Maybe they're like releasing it to a select few people so they can sort out the bugs and then try to, kind of, I don't know. There is kind of the early access idea in video games. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, I'll buy you some White Castle.
Thanks, man.
Anytime.
That's our show.
Our show. Thank you. Our thanks to all of our couples this week for Power Couples 8. Again, it's I hope to do Power Couples 9 in a theater next February. In the meantime, thank you to all of our couples this evening. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Thank you, Dan, for being our lovely webmaster. We'll be back this Wednesday with 4 phenomenal comedians. In the meantime, please wash your hands. Please wear a mask. Please stay a minimum 6 feet away from strangers and acquaintances when you are outside. Black Lives Matter. Believe women. Thank you and have a good night.